An NBA player offered you $15 million for your virginity.
Yes, that is true. This is true. But obviously I'm not doing that.
Can you say what team he plays for?
I cannot. I do not want to speculate or anything, start anything.
Well, listen, if you're passing, I'll take that offer.
Yeah. I mean, that's money. That's
he
money
wants to take
right
my
there.
anal virginity for $15 million. He can have it.
Hey,
I'll do it for 10, actually.
AJ Dybantsa is already being called the next face of basketball. But now LeBron James just sent him a message that his fans reading between the lines. And knowing everything LeBron has seen happen to young stars in this league, people think this wasn't just praise, it sounded more like a warning. When the Los Angeles Lakers played the Utah Jazz earlier this season, cameras caught a moment after the game that instantly went viral. As soon as the buzzer sounded, LeBron walked straight over to AJ Dybantsa and pulled him into a long embrace. No quick handshake, no casual no. He made it personal. And in basketball, moments like that mean something. Later, Dybantsa revealed what LeBron told him, and fans instantly got chills. According to Dybantsa, LeBron said he's been watching from a distance. And that one line has everybody talking. Think about that for a second. This is LeBron James, four-time champion, four-time MVP, the NBA's all-time leading scorer, personally keeping tabs on a 19-year-old freshman. That's not normal. That sounds like someone studying the next superstar before the rest of the world fully catches on. And the scary part? Dybantsa backed the hype up immediately. Right after that interaction, he dropped a career-high 35 points against Abilene Christian, completely taking over the game and looking every bit like the future of basketball. The reason this hit's different is because LeBron sees himself in Dybantsa. Both were labeled generational talents before they were even adults. Both had insane pressure on them from day one, and both were expected to become the face of the sport before ever stepping into the NBA. When LeBron says he's been watching from a distance, fans don't think it was just encouragement. They think LeBron was sending a deeper message about what's coming next, because nobody understands the pressure of becoming basketball's chosen one better than him. Because when LeBron James starts watching you, the entire basketball world pays attention. And when he tells you himself that he's been keeping an eye on you, that's not just respect. That's basically basketball royalty passing the torch. And that's why people are taking LeBron's message to AJ Dybantsa so seriously. Because Dybantsa isn't just another hyped prospect. This is a kid who's been treated like basketball's next chosen one since day one. Born in Boston and raised in Brockton, Dybantsa was dominating before most players even understood the game. As a freshman in high school, he was already putting up insane numbers. Nearly 20 points, 10 rebounds, plus assists and blocks every single night. While other freshmen were trying to survive varsity basketball, Dybantsa was out there looking like a future pro. What made scouts lose their minds was the combination of size, skill, and killer mentality. He didn't play like a normal teenager. He played like someone who already knew he belonged on the biggest stage. That's why he transferred to Prolific Prep in California, one of the biggest pipelines for elite basketball talent. And once he got there, the hype exploded even more. Then came the moment that really put the basketball world on alert. In 2023, Dybantsa completely took over the Nike Peach Jam, leading the entire tournament and scoring with nearly 26 points per game. And for people who know basketball, Peach Jam is where future NBA stars prove they're different. After that performance, scouts, analysts, and NBA insiders all started saying the same thing. AJ Dybantsa isn't just talented. He might be next. Then AJ Dybantsa made the move that completely shocked college basketball. Instead of choosing a traditional powerhouse like Duke, North Carolina, or Alabama, he committed to Brigham Young University Live on first take. And instantly, he became the biggest recruit in BYU history. AT first. Fans were confused. Why would the projected #1 pick skip the usual blue blood schools? But the deeper story made people realize this kid was thinking way bigger than college basketball. According to his advisor Leonard Armato, the former agent of Shaquille O'Neal, the decision wasn't just about money or hype. It was about culture, family, development, and setting up the fastest path to the NBA. In other words, Dybantsa wasn't moving like a teenager. He was moving like a future business empire. Still, the money was absolutely insane. Reports say BYU landed him with a nil package worth around $5 million. Then came a Nike deal reportedly worth over $4 million, plus partnerships with Red Bull and Fanatics Collectibles before he even played a single college game. That'd be why the time most freshmen were moving into dorm rooms. AJ Dybantsa was already becoming a millionaire superstar. Another huge reason he picked BYU was Coach Kevin Young, the former Phoenix Suns assistant who worked closely with Kevin Durant, Dybantsa's favorite player growing up. Having an NBA-level coach mattered because AJ already viewed college as a one-year stop before the league. And once the season started, the hype somehow got even crazier. Dybantsa didn't just dominate college basketball. He made history. He led the entire nation in scoring with 25.5 points per game, one of the greatest freshman scoring seasons ever. Think about how insane that is. In the entire history of Division I basketball, only 2 freshmen have ever averaged more points than him. That's why people now understand why LeBron James said he'd been watching from a distance. Because what AJ is doing doesn't look normal anymore. anymore. It looks like the rise of basketball's next megastar. And the craziest part? AJ Dybantsa wasn't coming off the bench or putting up empty numbers against weak teams. He started all 35 games as a true freshman and dropped nearly 900 total points. One of the greatest freshman scoring seasons Division I basketball has ever seen. He averaged 25.5 points, almost 7 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists per game while playing in the brutal Big 12 Conference. That's not normal freshman production. That's future superstar production. Then came the moment that really shook basketball fans. Against Utah, Dybantsa exploded for 43 points and broke the freshman scoring record held by BYU legend Danny Ainge. And the irony is wild because Ainge now helps run the Utah Jazz, the same franchise already dreaming about drafting AJ. The awards started piling up too. Dybantsa won the Julius Erving Award as the best small forward in college basketball, putting his name alongside some of the game's biggest legends. But what really sent NBA scouts in a panic mode was what he did in the Big 12 tournament. Over just 3 games, AJ dropped 93 total points and shattered Kevin Durant's old Big 12 scoring record. And he did it with NBA executives sitting courtside watching every move. That stretch completely changed the conversation around him. People stopped calling him promising. Now they were calling him inevitable. Even BYU coach Kevin Young admitted AJ's game transformed as the season went on. He started reading defenses better, slowing the game down, and carving teams apart like a veteran. That's the difference between a talented scorer and a future NBA superstar. And it wasn't just college basketball either. Dybantsa dominated internationally too, winning MVP honors at the 5-0 under 19 World Cup while leading Team USA to another gold medal. Everywhere he played, he looked like the best player on the floor, which explains why LeBron James had been watching this entire time. Then came the 2026 NBA Draft Combine in Chicago, where AJ made another statement without even touching a basketball. While most prospects showed up casual, Dybantsa walked into interviews wearing a full suit. Small detail, huge message that he wasn't acting like a college kid chasing the NBA anymore. He was already moving like someone preparing to become the face of it. Then came the interview moment that completely broke the internet. When AJ Dybantsa was asked to build his dream NBA starting 5, including himself, he smiled and said, "I'm about to get canceled for this." And seconds later, social media exploded. His lineup? LeBron James at point guard, Stephen Curry at shooting guard, Nikola Jokic at center, Kevin Durant at power forward, and himself at small forward. But what really got fans talking wasn't just the confidence of putting himself next to 4 all-time legends. It was how quickly he picked LeBron first. No hosetaschen, no second thoughts. And then he casually said Steph would be there strictly to shoot, which instantly sent the internet into chaos. But basketball fans understood the deeper message immediately. AJ wasn't calling LeBron a regular forward. He was calling him the ultimate floor general, the greatest playmaker ever at his size. Putting LeBron at point guard was pure respect for his IQ, vision, and ability to control an entire game. What also stood out was who AJ did. No Luka Doncic, no Shai Alexander, no Anthony Edwards, no Victor Wembanyama. Instead, he chose champions, MVPs, proven legends who already defined an era of basketball. And honestly, that says a lot about how AJ sees himself. He's not trying to be part of the NBA's next generation. He's trying to stand beside the icons who changed the game forever. Now here's where the story gets even crazier. A.J. Dybantsa may have left Victor Wembanyama out of his dream starting 5, but that's actually the player he wants to team up with the most. AJ has openly talked about wanting to play beside the San Antonio Spurs superstar, which tells you there's a difference between who he idolizes and who he thinks he can dominate with. His dream lineup was about legends. His real NBA future is about building a dynasty. But the connection with LeBron James goes way deeper than basketball. The similarities between them are honestly starting to get scary. Both were hyped as generational talents before even reaching the NBA. Both carried impossible expectations as teenagers. And now, before AJ has even played a single NBA game, he's already entered LeBron's world financially too. Dybantsa has already signed major Nike deals alongside names like LeBron, Kevin Durant, Ja Morant, and Devin Booker. That's elite company for a 19-year-old who hasn't even been drafted yet. And fans can't ignore how personal LeBron's involvement has become. The messages, the courtside embrace, publicly saying he's been watching AJ from a distance. It feels less like admiration and more like LeBron quietly choosing who he believes is next. Even AJ putting himself in a lineup with LeBron, Curry, KD, and Jokic showed how confident he already is. Most young players would never dare compare themselves to legends like that. But AJ clearly believes he belongs in those conversations. And honestly, that confidence might be exactly why LeBron respects him so much. Because greatness usually recognizes greatness early. Now the entire basketball world is waiting for the next chapter. The 2026 NBA draft is only weeks away. And the biggest question in the sport is simple. Where will AJ Dybantsa land right now? The favorite is the Washington Wizards, who hold the #1 pick for the first time since drafting John Wall back in 2010. But with teams like the Utah Jazz, Memphis Grizzlies, and Chicago Bulls all watching closely, the pressure around AJ is about to explode even more. Right now, almost every mock draft has AJ Dybantsa going number 1 to the Washington Wizards. Some scouts are even comparing his potential to Jaylen Brown because of his size, athleticism, and two-way upside. But just when everybody thought the draft race was over, a new twist came out of Chicago that changed everything. During the NBA Draft Combine, rumors started flying that Dybantsa actually wants to stay in Utah. And honestly, the deeper you look into it, the crazier the situation gets that AJ has spent the last 2 years building his life there. First at Utah Prep, then at Brigham Young University. His family reportedly loves the area, and sources around the Combine said they were hoping he could stay long-term. That instantly brought the Utah Jazz into the conversation. And here's where fans started putting on their conspiracy hats. Dybantsa already has a close relationship with the Jazz organization. He reportedly trained on Utah's practice courts before the season, and Jazz owner Ryan Smith has deep connections to BYU and has openly invested in the basketball program that now people are asking a wild question. Did Utah quietly help build the perfect environment for AJ before eventually trying to draft him? Because when an NBA owner is heavily connected to the college program, helping support financially, and then ends up linked to the biggest prospect in basketball, fans are obviously going to start talking. Some insiders even wondered if AJ might try to force his way to Utah by avoiding workouts with Washington. That's how serious the rumors became. But according to reports from Chicago, Dybantsa's camp later cooled those rumors down and made it clear they weren't planning to play those kinds of draft games, even if Utah may still be the preferred destination behind the scenes. Still, not everyone around the league believes Washington landing AJ is guaranteed. One scout reportedly shut that idea down immediately when asked if Dybantsa to the Wizards was a lock, which means the biggest prospect in basketball might still have one more surprise left before draft night. And if there were still any doubts about AJ Dybantsa being the number 1 pick, the NBA Draft Combine completely erased them. AJ basically walked into Chicago and reminded everybody why scouts are calling him the future of basketball. He posted a ridiculous 42-inch vertical, the best at the entire combine, while measuring nearly 6'9" with a massive wingspan and elite athleticism. Then he backed it up by shooting lights out in drills and going perfect from the free throw line to tee that point. Teams weren't just looking at a talented prospect anymore. They were looking at a future franchise superstar. And that's what makes the LeBron James connection feel so much bigger now. Because at the same time AJ is preparing to enter the NBA, LeBron is openly talking about the possibility of retirement after 23 legendary seasons. After the Los Angeles Lakers playoff exit, LeBron admitted he still doesn't know if he's played his final NBA game. Think about how crazy the timing is. One era might be ending while another is just beginning. That's why fans believe LeBron telling AJ, "I've been watching from a distance," wasn't just advice. It felt like a passing of the torch. LeBron has seen every type of young star come through basketball. He knows who's real and who's hype. And by publicly embracing Dybantsa, keeping in contact with him, and letting the world know he's been paying attention, LeBron basically sent one giant message to the NBA. This kid is different. Whether AJ ends up with the Washington Wizards as the number 1 pick or somehow lands with the Utah Jazz, the expectations are now massive. But AJ doesn't sound intimidated at all. He already said the team that drafts him is getting a winner. Somebody dedicated to changing the franchise and the city for the better. And honestly, hearing that confidence while LeBron watches from the background is exactly why so many people believe basketball's next superstar has already arrived.